Friday Night Vigil anytime now. Let's go. Alright guys, we are starting Friday Night Vigil. Head over to my YouTube right now for the full experience. Let's go. Head over to my YouTube right now. I'm about to start the show very soon. We're just counting down. Head over to my YouTube. About to start the show. If you want to get involved in the discussion or watch the show live, head over to my YouTube right now. Let's go. Head over to the YouTube right now. Hey. Friday Night Vigil is back after how many weeks? How many weeks? Back, baby. About to get started. Alright, let's start the show. Let's start the show. Hey, show me some love, man. I'm back. Ha ha. Tina, what are you doing here? Head over to the YouTube. Head over to the YouTube, man. You're about to kick off. Let's go. The link is in my bio. Click the link in my bio to head over to the YouTube. It's only truth. You can't even miss more and more time because it's true. Hey guys, head over to my YouTube right now. I'm about to go live. Well, I'm live right now on the YouTube. The link is in my bio. That's where you're going to be able to hear everything. You're going to see the full snazzy effects and everything that I put together for you guys. Coming and joining the discussion tonight. If it's nappy black, cause I'm nappy queen. Damn bad, real bad, Nubian queen. La 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 la, oh David my king. Make sure you are on the YouTube right now. Instagram is just a way. It's just a way for you to know to head over here. Go click the link in the bio. Let's go. No, something ain't living right. All right. Mm, Layback. Hey, start saying hello to everybody in the comment section on the YouTube. Make sure you're saying hello to somebody, greet somebody, say good evening. Welcome to Friday Night Vigil. We're about to get into a conversation today. So I want to hear from you guys, but start by hitting each other up in the comment section. Guys, I am back. Okay, do you know what? Yeah, I'll level with you guys. It's been a mad one. It's been a mad one. I think we've missed 2 weeks, and first of all, it started off because um, basically the camera that I was using, I didn't have access to it anymore. I want to maintain a certain quality, so I didn't want to just do it off my phone. But at the same time, I do respect consistency. It was also Good Friday as well, and I thought, it's probably a better time to observe um, the season and to take the break. And then last week, I looked at the situation again with the camera, and I said no. But I have been able to fix a couple of things, and hopefully, this camera will cut out at some point. It will drop for a few seconds, and then usually it will come back. I'm letting you know this now so you're not alarmed, but also so you don't cut off and go, oh, well, the stream's dead. It's usually for like 3, 4, 5 seconds, and then it's back, right? I'm making do with what I have. It's a slightly older camera. I bought this, what I'm guessing like 7 years ago. Um, Technology has advanced since then. I've tried to look after the camera. I'm just explaining up front. Apart from all of that, shout out to Tina. I see you with the Mary J. Blige wave. I appreciate you, sis. This is a good time. I've missed you guys. I've missed the vibe. I've missed coming together for these conversations, taking your calls, jumping. Just to make note again, if you see on the YouTube, there's a pinned comment. That's where the link to the Zoom is. So when you want to call in, click that link and you'll join the Zoom room, and then I'll basically take calls that way. When we're ready to take calls, basically, I'll let you know. But for now, I am going to lay out what it is I want to talk about. So, you've probably seen the title if you're looking at it on Instagram. If not, if you're still on Instagram, head over to the YouTube right now. The YouTube is where you're going to be able to see this properly. So make sure you're on the YouTube. Make sure you go and click the link in my bio. Now, if we're going to get started, let's do it like this. Today's question. Oh, and while you're here as well, make sure you hit that like button right now. Make sure you hit that like button, and because we need the engagement. What I'm saying, like, I ain't murdering it on YouTube yet, but we're trying to be consistent. We're working towards it. We're gonna get there. So make sure that first things first. We are clicking that like button. Next thing, I want to make sure that you guys are subscribed to the channel. Right? We need the subscribers, so that way when I'm dropping content, you guys are seeing it. Okay, cool. I need the subs. I need the likes. All right. Tina says, "Church, let's correct collect offering now. I'm sure camera counts as building fund." Yo, we're taking this church thing one step too far. Shout out to everybody still joining in on the Instagram. Go click the link in my bio right now in order to join in this conversation. We're gonna be talking about, is it that hard to find a spouse? And I know why I'm saying this. I'm not doing this to mock anybody. Let me make this clear from the beginning. I'm not here to just drag anybody or at anybody. This is not a diatribe on single people or married people. The idea is, I want to really ask the question, is it that hard? Because I have a sneaky suspicion that it's easier to say it's just hard or it's too difficult to find somebody than it is to actually fix some of the problems and obstacles in the way. So please, if you're on the Instagram, head over to the YouTube right now so we can get started with this discussion. Uh, all right. Lionel says, "What's good, Ola? I'm just enjoying this evening. Look forward to the topic. Welcome, brother. Welcome, man. You're more than welcome to Friday Night Vigil. Let's get involved in this topic real quick." Toby Allen said, "New graphics." Okay. I see people appreciating little. I told you each week I want to step it up a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here. So, new graphics, you know what I'm saying? Let's get involved. So I said this is a direct act of Fumberto that they blood. It's not an act of Fumbi at all. Even though we have discussed this on our podcast, the Boys Court podcast, which I'm going to introduce to some of you guys later on in the show. I feel like a couple of times in recent history, I've been sticking it on the brothers as to why they're not married, right? If you heard my recent no, my first appearance, because I actually did 3 shots of tequila again with Fumbi. But the first time I did it, I kind of stuck it on the brothers there as to why they're not married. And then, also I kind of stuck it on Fumbi as well on our podcast. So as most people could tell that I'm somewhat passionate about seeing the brothers settle down. But, I'm not naive or doing it based on any sense of highfalutin romance. I don't think that it's all just, I know it's hard because I'm living it. I know it's tough. I think it's a worthwhile journey. I think it's important for the next generation. I think it's great for kids to grow up in a home with a solid marriage at the center of it. There are many benefits for this for both sides. There are lots of pitfalls, don't get me wrong, but there are lots of benefits if we do things properly. So, back to why I'm asking this question. Is it really that hard to find a spouse? Now, I did I did throw this up on the Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you are. It's at olathecomedian. All right. So I did throw this out on the Instagram and I want to check the results of the poll. The results of the poll show that 66% of you said yes, it is that hard to find a spouse. And 33% of you said no. Wow. So it's definitely the majority of you say yes, it is really hard to find a spouse. But I think on the whole, there is still a third. A third is a decent percentage. If I gave you a third of what you're paying for, you'd say thank you. So a third of us think that it isn't hard. Now, I don't know if that third is married or whether they just feel like it's not difficult. But here's what I will say. I I genuinely think that there are plenty of opportunities to get married. If you value finding a spouse and we do things properly, we could most of us could get married. I think we spend a lot of time doing nonsense and we're not necessarily taking accountability for the nonsense that we do. And we are somehow complaining at the circumstance rather than taking responsibility for what we could have done. There will always be unfavorable circumstances in everything. But I find it interesting that I have very capable sisters. Sisters who will push through degrees, 1 degree, master's degree, go back to get another degree, PhDs, people who will surmount insurmountable odds to achieve in what they want to achieve. And then get to this area and be like, oh, it's too hard. It's too hard. What do you mean? Maybe there's just a certain amount of effort and skill sets that are missing right now. Maybe you believed some lies. If you're on the Instagram, go click the link in my bio. Let's head on over and join in this discussion real quick with me. I'm going to come to the comments on the YouTube real soon. I'm just gonna give my a bit of my opening monologue. One of the reasons why I knew I needed to ask this question today is because I asked it casually to a female friend of mine. She's not married. And we've had similar conversations from time to time. So I asked her, is it really that hard? And she said yes. I said, why? She gave me a whole list of reasons as to why it's hard on the men's side, why it's hard on the women's side. I said, cool. But also, when we started digging, um, when we started digging a little deeper, what became apparent is that this sister of mine is currently seeing a guy, and this guy on paper is everything she would have asked for. The brother is good looking. He makes very good money. He's disciplined. And the issue of him not having much time for her was becoming the stumbling block. And I was looking at it like, you mean to tell me you found a brother who is making good money, good looking, disciplined. He's not pressuring you for sex, and you still found a problem? You know what? I've heard it said, and sometimes it's like a joke. They say, "Oh, put a man in a studio apartment, he'll find a way to be happy. Put a woman in a mansion, she'll find a way to be miserable." I don't want to accept those tropes or somewhat humorous statements as fact, but sometimes there's some truth to it. Because I'm like, how have you found one of these guys that most of these sisters say they're looking for, and yet there's still something? Now, I get it. Women want attention. I get it. But I also had to ask her, look, has a man ever lost money from chasing women? She said yes. Has a man ever lost women from chasing money? The guy has purpose. You said he's disciplined. You said he works from early hours to late night and makes good money. And your concern is hanging out? Hanging out? You people want to be hanging out? That you will wake up at 5, 6 a.m., go to bed at 11, 12, up, making good money. And one sister will be calling you and telling you that you need to come and hang out with me. God forbid. God forbid. What? I said, sis, don't fumble the bag. Don't fumble the bag. And obviously, I'm being facetious here. The guy is not a bag. But at the same time, let's not let these issues get in the way of what could be good. If you're gonna be with somebody, this is the thing. I don't think I'm talking on the sister side now. If you don't understand what it is to be with a guy who is doing well for himself, my sister, please donate him back, because I have other sisters that are asking me every day, where are all these good guys? Donate him back. If I call some of my sisters and tell them, oh, there's a guy here, he's making 6 figures, he's disciplined, he's not trying to have sex with anybody, he's trying to focus right now, he's trying to build, but you won't get much of his time. I know a lot of sisters will still complain, but at the same time, like, come on, man. What? This guy is a rare Pokemon, and you got your Pokeball out. He's inside your Pokeball. Are you about to let him out so you can go out and catch one of these random Pikachus? These Squirtles in the streets? These street Squirtles? That's what you trying to let him out the Pokeball to make space for these street Squirtles? Nah, man. This is what was frustrating me. I was like, my sister, I wanted to shake her if I wasn't on the phone to her. So it made me think, how many times are we fumbling bags? How many times are we letting decent people go for the most frivolous reasons? I say this because I know I've done it myself. I still got married. I'm not saying you do that and then you lose all your opportunities for life. But I'm saying I know I have let certain relationships go for very temporal things. Let me not say frivolous. They were very meaningful at the time, but they were very temporary as well. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we have to get a sense of what is important. You know, I hear brothers all the time tell me that, like, oh man, getting married, it's almost like the idea is they are scared they're gonna meet a woman, say, okay, she's cool, but then they're gonna see another one, and they're gonna be like, but I like her more. And I'm like, this is the kind of behavior that has certain men in the casino pulling, constantly pulling at the lever. I told you this thing was gonna cut out. Constantly pulling at the lever, saying, "Nah, I think this time's my time." Sometimes you need to know when to cash in your chips and say, "I've got a good one. Let me chill and build with her." But it's almost like saying that is like the antithesis of what we're doing here in today's society. If you're enjoying this, make sure you share the link with somebody now. WhatsApp somebody the link, get them involved in the conversation. What I'm saying to you guys, or you can tweet the link, whatever. What I'm saying to you guys is men have problems. Women have problems, believe it or not. You would think the fact that we both have problems would make it easier in some ways. Because you should be more understanding. If you know you have problems, then you might be more understanding of someone else who has problems. If one of you is perfect, the other one has problems, I understand why that might be a hindrance. But if we acknowledge that we all have work to do, I think we should have a bit more grace. I think we wouldn't be letting people go for such frivolous reasons. In my opinion. I don't actually think it's as hard as we make it. I think we've turned it into something else. We've turned it into this mishmash game of chemistry and romance and finance and timing and hot girl summers and holiday beats and all sorts of nonsense. We've confused the matter so much. It's painful to watch sometimes. I genuinely think that if we just got serious and focused about this, when we made this an attractive deal, I'll tell you where I'm coming from, yeah? Most of my day-to-day at work is structuring deals. I'm constantly trying to represent the interests of my employer and of the client I'm speaking to. And I'm trying to structure a deal that's going to make my manager, if one of my managers was to look at the contract and go, do you know what? This is a good deal. This works out well for us. And so the client can also look at it and go, do you know what? I'm happy with this. So learning how to understand two people's wants and desires, learning how to find the commonalities and streamline it so you overcome small obstacles is the general basis of what I do on a day-to-day basis. So when I look at a lot of men and women, I'm just frustrated because I see a lot of good deals being lost over something that can be overcome. Small obstacles. Small obstacles. Now there are big obstacles. Don't let me lie to you. A lot of people are making some terrible life decisions. They're making decisions with very real life consequences. I can't lie to any of you. Right? Look, the truth is, at the end of the day, there are some things you are doing, and no matter how many times you say this shouldn't affect me, it's affecting you. And I'm saying that specifically to the sisters this time, because the sisters definitely have a sense of what should and should. They're definitely way less willing to accept this is what's realistic. Definitely a bit more idealistic in terms of what should be okay. So, for example, a man might be very simple. He might be like, I just want you to insert something simple here. And she'll be like, no, there's no way he could just want that. Why are men so stupid? Why don't they want this? And it's like, no, this is what he wants. Stop trying to complicate it. This is what he wants. Why are you spending all this time trying to remake him in your own image rather than just going, oh, this is what the man that I want wants this. All right, let me give that to him. And then he can give me what I want, and then we can make a deal. You spend all your time trying to restructure the other person to try and suit the deal that you have on the table. Like your deal's already in PDF format, so it's non-editable. What's going on? You can tell I spent way too much time at the laptop today. Guys, look here. We need to tend to the crop. I'm not going to lie to you. We definitely need to do a bit more work in preparing men to be husbands, preparing women to be wives. I'm not going to argue with you. But I definitely do not believe only perfect people get married. I do not believe only perfect people find somebody. So what's getting in the way here? What's truly getting in the way? I think there's a lot of fear. I think there's a lot of poor guidance. And I think that there's a lot of poor decision making. Personally. That's what I think. I do want to hear from you guys. Because I recognize that everybody has different experiences. So we can talk on general terms. And I'd love to hear your general thoughts. But also sometimes it's good to have a couple of anecdotal stories. Now here's one thing I know for a fact. There will be sisters who will come on and tell me about all the most raggedy guys that they've ever met in their life. I hear these stories often. But I think when we start to push a little deeper, we find that there have been decent guys. And usually, these guys are let go for some of the most frivolous reasons in the world. If you let someone go and you stand by your decision, I'm with you 100%. But if you let someone go and you know deep down that does, in the grand scheme of life, this does not make a difference, then you played yourself. You played yourself. And I don't know what else to tell you. I swear I don't know what to tell you. You want to handcuff me? Look, guys. I think we got a few people on this live right now. There's no reason why we couldn't find two people here who could possibly make something work. I don't actually believe it's that impossible. I'm not even saying we need to go back to the days of arranged marriage, but I am saying if we took some guidance on this from people who were wiser than ourselves, I think we'd cut a lot of the nonsense out. Personally. Respectfully. I'm just throwing theories out here. But I think this idea that you're going to find this perfect person is killing my people. Nobody's perfect. You are not perfect. And if you find a perfect person, leave them alone. Don't go and ruin them with your flaws. That's how you break people. Okay? There needs to be way more grace, way more realistic decision making, way less fear, way more healing for past hurts. All right, let's go to some of these comments. Fayaz Hack says, I think it is a multifaceted issue from successful women versus unsuccessful men. Another issue is so much choice. Another question, has marriage become devalued in our society? Wow, there is a lot in here. And I already see Tida saying Fayaz for PM. Tida, behave yourself. All right, Fayaz. You definitely love to frame this. I definitely know a lot of people like to frame this situation as successful men versus successful women versus unsuccessful men. It feels good, doesn't it? It feels good. You can pat yourself on the back. I'm actually too good to find somebody. You know, like the issue is like I'm just so valuable, no one can afford to pay my price. I had to turn on the music for this one. You're lying to yourself. And it's a shame. I promise you 99% of the people who think that they're too good to find somebody aren't that great. You will always pick the measures that benefit you. Everyone's value systems just somehow works in their favor. It's always like that. And unfortunately, the people you're trying to pick are not using your value system. What that usually means is that some women have made money in the workplace and they're faced with loads of guys who haven't made that money in the workplace. You think that makes the woman successful? I guess we just all have to define what success looks like. Because I personally think a lot of these women have played themselves. That's what I personally think. I think, anyway, I have a whole theory on my sisters are too easily pimped. But I'll go into that another time. But I think a lot have been tricked out their position. I'll give you a snippet. You know how women will often fight men about being made to work for in the home for a man telling them what to wear, a man trying to control their lives. It turns out that these things weren't actually wrong. It's just that there's a price. And the price is usually 30k, 42k a year, 50k a year, maybe 80k a year. It turns out that women actually don't mind being told what to wear, don't mind being told what time to show up and what time to leave, being asked to do more work than they were paid to do. It turns out women don't actually mind submitting. You just have to pay them. I'm just pointing it out. So these women will go and do everything their husbands have been asking for a corporation. They'll go put on the uniform or adhere to a dress code. They will wear heels or whatever it is. They'll stay late after work. The workplace will tell them, you can do this, you can't do this. They will watch what they say. They will bring their best behavior because they're being paid. So the idea that the husband is this controlling, evil person out there, it's not really that. What you're saying is he just hasn't got your price. What you're deeming as success is just that simply you're saying, I prefer to be pimped by a corporation than to be loved by a man. I'm going to turn the music up for a second on that one. Yo, do you know what? Yeah, I'm so... Let me even just... You got to show me love on that one. Because most of the things that you guys are complaining about, not real complaints. It's just the fact that you go to the highest bidder, right? So most of the concerns about love, finding a guy that's good looking, doesn't actually mean anything. In the grand scheme of things, if he has a certain amount of money, he'll tell you to jump and you will say, can I get a promotion, please? I want to take on more responsibility. Yo, the way corporations have pimped sisters, pimped women out of their family homes, giving them the idea that they are actually winning so much success. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. All of the intangible joys that you can't buy, they'll say, do you know what, yeah? Give me your 20s and your 30s. Give me your most fertile years. Use all of that energy to come and work for me. I'll give you lots of money for it. So that you can go spend that money on IVF when you hit 40. Whew. My sisters are too easily pimped. I haven't even gone into that whole theory and diatribe, but I just wanted to let you know that sometimes when I see these narratives around successful women and unsuccessful men, what I see is a bunch of women who've been tricked into taking their husbands' places and thinking that that's going to entitle them to a better husband. Not true. Not true. You are your husband. You've become your husband. You've gone out and got all the career success. You've gone out there and had your sexual contest. You've taken on all the masculine traits that work in the field, and you're trying to apply that to your love life, and it's just getting you feminine men. Who else would be attracted to a masculine woman? You think a masculine man? You're doing all of the behaviors that are going to attract the kind of men that you don't want. If a man is that impressed by how much money you're making, you know, your skill set, and you know the fact you got all these degrees, he's most likely going to be the kind of guy who's looking to enjoy the benefits of that. In which case, all of a sudden, you don't like him anymore. Because you're like, I want you to have something going for yourself. And then we just get right into that same old discussion. What are the guys that you want looking for? They're not asking for degrees. They're not asking for your success. They ask you to be cooperative. You know that nonsense you do in the workplace? Being cooperative with certain people and then being sharp elbowed with others. You come home and you give your husband the sharp elbow. Try the cooperative side. Try it. Who knows? Anyway, let's get back to these comments. Alright. Anyway, just back to that comment as well still. Issue is too much choice. I agree with this one. There is too much choice. And that's part of what I mean in terms of the guys who stay in the casino too long. It's sad. Because the scroll button, the infinite scrolling that they've added to... You know, you have to think, this is a concept. The idea that you can consistently scroll on your Instagram feed. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time when your Instagram feed ended. You guys don't remember that? Old school Instagram, you remember there was a time where you'd scroll and you've caught up on everyone. Now, you have infinite scrolling. Even if you've got to the end of everyone you follow, they'll start to suggest other people to keep you scrolling. It's the same thing when you're you're at the slot machine. If you keep pulling it, you keep having the hope that the next one is going to be the jackpot. And you can end up staying at the casino too long. There's so many brothers who've got a good woman in front of them, but because they're trying to roll for that jackpot that they've seen on Instagram, they think, oh, if I get that one, it's going to be dope. And even if they get a woman close, they're still going to be like, oh, but there's other baddies. And they keep going. They keep pulling, they keep yanking that lever. I'm just saying, it's not a sustainable strategy. When you win in a casino is when you set a boundary, and you give yourself a boundary, and you follow it. That's when you have fun in a casino. If you say, look, my budget is £10, I'm going to play £10 and I'm going to leave. And I'm going to take the £10 as the journey of putting that £10 in, that's going to be my fun. I don't need to hit some jackpot that I've never seen before in order to have a good time. I'm not going to make my happiness tonight contingent on a 1 in 300,000 chance. I'm going to make it guaranteed happiness because I'm choosing to be happy. I know how much I'm going to spend. I'm going to stick to it. That's when men start becoming decision makers. And yes, there's going to be a time where you might be like, oh, I wish maybe I held out for this or blah, blah, blah. You have to get that out your head. For me, sometimes, like, I know that when I've booked a flight, I stop looking at flight prices. Because sometimes you're like, oh, but maybe I could have found a flight cheaper. After that, there's no good that it does. It's just going to ruin it for you. It's going to tarnish it for you. Just go and enjoy your holiday. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm spending a lot of time on this comment. The last one is, as question, has marriage become devalued? Of course it's become devalued in our society. We definitely value corporate success and casual sex and more options way more than we value the hard work that it takes to like marry someone and stay married to someone. I definitely think that. All right. Tina says, I feel attacked. Don't feel attacked, sis. There's no one attacking you here. People are hard, books are not. Okay, so yes, I know you're one of these well-rounded individuals, as in 360 degrees. You're collecting them all. I get it. You need to work on people. Stop avoiding what's hard. All right, if Charles Bronson can find a wife, any man can. Mass murderers are finding wives. That's a perfect example. It's not hard. It's not hard. People overcomplicate something very simple. There's man, there's woman. If you're both heterosexual, like half the work is done. Just in the fact that you guys have the equipment that the other person needs. Just you've established that we need each other for something. I mean, at least for reproduction, let's say. Anyway, those sisters need to be linked to the Cat Williams sketch. See, this is the problem with reading the comments later. I don't actually know what you're referring to at that point. I'm all for arranged marriages. Do you know what? I'm not against them. I see a lot of value in them. I can't say I'm necessarily an advocate in the sense of like I would push for it, but I definitely see why, and I'm definitely not against them. I just also think mine wasn't arranged, and I can still kind of figure it out. But I do think you should have other people involved. I don't think women should be out here on this open dating market trying to figure it out for themselves. I think they should have some kind of protection, especially from a man, whether it's a pastor, father, brothers, whatever it is. Someone who's going to signal to other men that someone's looking out for this woman. You may not like it, but that's what protection looks like. Will that protecting black women protect women that you guys be shouting up and down? It looks like a man saying, do you know what? You don't just get to pimp, pander, and philander with this sister of mine. She is looked after. And come and speak to me if you're interested. Because you're not going to be able to finagle me with ideas of romance and whatnot. I'm going to cut straight to the meat with you. I think that's helpful. Anyway, these can be seen old-fashioned in today's world. Tina said, Ola, you started your nonsense again. I don't expect anything less from you, Tina. Always with the nonsense. Michael said, Ola's right. Whew. Oof, wham. I don't even know what I was saying at this point. Agreed, but doesn't this affect the family plan and hence less likely to settle down? I think it's a minority of women that are focused on success thing, though. I mean, maybe it's a minority, maybe it's a majority, but I definitely hear the narrative a lot. Women are just doing so well for themselves. All right, well done. Clap for yourself. But if this is what doing well is for you, then I don't know what to tell you. Seems you're already doing well. But for those of you that recognize something's missing in your life, all I'm saying is, look, most of the time our problems is not wanting bad things. It's wanting good things out of priority. And somehow we've all been convinced that the number one priority for everybody is to go out into the corporate world or go out into the world of business or into into employment and give your everything. You give your best hours in the day. You give the most of your energy, your time, your efforts, and whatever's left over, you chuck it around for your family or whatever else. For men, I understand that. Because that's exactly how he derives the value that his woman is looking for in him. For women, it's absolutely detrimental. You can hate me. You can hate the patriarchy or whatever it is. The truth of the matter is, when it comes down to it, when 35 hits and they start saying that it's geriatric pregnancy and all of this kind of stuff, and rates of conception start going down, your workplace is going to look at you like, they're not going to refund you your 20s. You gave your 20s to the workplace. You gave your 20s to the holidays and to your brunches with the girls. That was your choice. And for the brothers, the thing is with the brothers, they've always got a chance as long as they work on their purpose. But for the brothers that are out here just chasing a steady stream of more and more women, after you spend all this money taking all these women out, doing all kinds of nonsense, they don't refund you the money, you know. They don't refund you this money. It's all gone on these temporary pleasures. And when you think back on all the money you spent, you think, if I just put that on Bitcoin, whoo, BTC to the moon. Alright, from a Christian point of view, simply meeting a guy that believes in all of the 10 commandments takes prayer and fasting. You guys be making it so bad, man. Come on. I mean, believes in, you'll find that now. Maybe follows, you probably won't, because we're all sinful, and that includes you sisters as well. But making it like, anyway. Funnily enough, the Muslim point of view is similar. Finding someone who is on the same religious level as you, who you're attracted to and get on with. I mean, there's some very simple basics here. Hey, shout out to Tanya Moore. I see you, sis. Inside the dance. Alright. Phil says, I think it is and should be a lot more simple than we make it. But to say it's not hard feels a little wild. It only becomes simple again if enough people make it simple. Until then, I don't know. Bro, I guess we're saying the same thing. I mean, I guess you're objecting to me using the language, oh, it's not hard. But I'm trying to say that it's simple. I'm saying that the concept of it is simple, but that we are overcomplicating it as human beings. We are adding all of these extra dynamics and political ideologies and concepts, things that don't even have any proof or basis in reality. Like, people will just make up stuff. People just be like, if a woman really loves you, she will ... If that guy does this, he doesn't really care about you. No empirical testing on this. Just a theory. And then you go and live your life by this theory. Not only that, you go tell other people to go live their lives by this theory. I'm saying this is just unnecessarily complicated. I think most of us have met somebody that we could marry. We just felt we could do better, or we felt like, do you know what? I've got enough time. Let me put this off. Anyway. Michael said, I believe in the 10 commandments. No fuss. My brother, sell your market. Sell your market. You see what? Look at this good brother just right here. Just chilling in the cut. Just chilling in the cut. The brothers be out. That's what I'm saying. Like, brothers be out here. I'm saying, you know what? Like, I can't say I've got a whole Rolodex, because the truth is, as I've been married, most of my guys got married as well. So most of my guys around me are married. But come on, man. Are we pretending like every guy is a road guy who's in jail and is banging around and doesn't want to do anything serious with his life? Come on, man. Just be honest. Those are the guys you like. You telling me that none of these girls are good looking enough? I mean, come on, man. We could have the whole conversation about whether women are, making the effort, or whether women are being feminine enough, or whether women are being cooperative enough. Yes, I get it. But come on, you're telling me you haven't met someone that is at least somewhat cooperative, good looking, and feminine? You never met that in your life? Bro. Yo, anyway. Online apps versus meeting people is a problem. This is true. The technology, it presents a huge opportunity, because now you're not limited to your geographical location. You can date somebody in a different country, which is an opportunity. Let's not pretend that it isn't. But what it also means is that it fuels that lack of decision making that I was talking about. It means you've got even more people to scroll through. It means that if you're not serious about your life, you've got an even more efficient tool to just do numbers. So just send out 200 messages and see, you just need a conversion rate of 1%. And you've got 2 women that are willing to sleep with you if you're a guy. That's the whole point. You can just do numbers. You You can just swipe yes on everybody, see who says yes back, hit them all with, your standard opening greeting, and then just see who you can convert from there. The apps aren't helping, I'll tell you that. The apps are doing a lot of damage. They present a huge opportunity, but the heart of man is desperately wicked. Hey Tina, why you not the co-host? Come on, man, don't disrespect me on my show. What is this? Look here, man can run a show without Tina. But Tina was on a few weeks ago. Tina, I appreciate you staying up today. I know that this is a big ask from you. J-Lo is single now, so I'm ready to settle. My guy Isaac, good to see you, bro. Yeah, man, J-Lo is single now. J-Lo been married a few times. Yeah, this camera is doing the madness. J-Lo single again. Golly. I told you, this life no balance, man. I don't know why. J-Lo, when I was growing up, J-Lo was like so desirable. And for some reason, this woman has been through I don't know. I can think of maybe, was she like 3 marriages? Am I making that up? I feel like I might be making that up. Someone check how many times J-Lo has been married, please. And put it in the comments for me. But what's going on with her? What's going on with Halle Berry? This is how I know that this idea that like, oh, what if I meet someone even more good looking? This has no effect on your ability to have a good relationship with someone. How can Tanya say she lost another one? Golly. Don't say it like that. Guys, I want to start taking your calls, but before we do that, I want to introduce you to a podcast that I run with Fumbi. It's available on all podcast platforms. So you can listen to it in audio, but if you want to listen a week ahead and watch it on video, then you need to join my Patreon. That's patreon.com/olathecomedian. Patreon.com/olathecomedian. From £3 a month, you get access to all my extra content. So if you join the Patreon, you can watch the podcast. But if you just want to listen to it for free, it's available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all of those good places. Amazon Music as well, I believe. It's called the Boys Quarter Podcast. Boys Quarter Podcast, okay? So I'm going to introduce you guys with a clip over here. And then when we come back, we'll start taking calls. When I was, I took a couple classes in Muay Thai. And the guy...
So what was that?
In Muay Thai.
Alright, whatever.
Calm down, bro.
Was it literally a couple though, just 2?
Yeah, it was, I mean, a handful. It wasn't more than that. Yeah. It was
Black does Muay Thai.
It was kicking my ass. I couldn't keep it going, man.
You're like, I ain't that violent.
I was like, life ain't that bad, The kind of training, there was brothers in there on Ramadan doing burpees, bro.
You know what, though? You wouldn't be fit for Cobra Kai. You'd have been an embarrassment.
Bro, if there was a chess version, bro, call me.
You play chess?
Yeah, I played chess at school. I was in the chess team. Yeah. I know. You were about to be like, cool, and then I told you chess team, and then you were like, nah, you played this shit competitively?
No,
nah.
There's a team of you?
Yeah, it was a team. I wasn't even that good, man. I was like on 4th team or something like that.
You know what? That's
there was
what's
some real
hilarious
geniuses
about
in my
us,
school.
The fact that we have such different backgrounds. I was on the chess team.
Yeah,
in my
bro.
school, if you were on the chess team, you were getting bullied.
Bro, I used to go to chess club at lunch, bro. That's where I hung out. I hung out at chess club. We used to sing chess club. They'll party like a chess club party.
Oh, look, you know what? I've known you for so long. And I'm worried why your comedy hasn't gone to the next level. It's because you've been holding bars like this behind, bro.
I had to feel comfortable to share these kind of stories.
Oh, my goodness. You did that for real?
It was obviously his banter because
I know,
we
but
weren't
you know what
actually
it
S
is?
Club
It's
fans. But it was
funny
like when the first
though.
time someone says chess club and you're like, ain't
Shit,
no party
like
like
a
a chess
chess
club
club.
party. Like we didn't take ourselves
Of
seriously, but
course
it
not.
was
Of
like,
course not. Of course not.
but we were like, nah, this is what we like, man. Let's
But
hang
it is
out.
it's that's the thing is this. Everybody assumes the only reason that the banter on the ends is so hard because everyone's so hard.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah,
But
yeah.
if you're not from that cloth,
No, why
the
not?
banter's not gonna be as it's
Why
gonna
would
be a
you not
chess club.
engage in
Yeah,
an activity
in a
that stimulates your
nerdy
mind?
banter, like in
Why
this
not?
environment you're in. It's cute.
100%. Anyway, so I did Muay Thai for a few lessons. And that was a clip from the Boys Quarter podcast. Go check that out. I think we have, I want to say 5 episodes out. Maybe 4. There's 4 episodes if you're listening on audio, 5 episodes if you're a patron. So there is enough for you to get started. Go enjoy that podcast. It's myself and Fumbi Omotayo. Just free talking for about an hour every week. So please go. That drops on Wednesdays in the morning. So please go check that out. Go subscribe as well. Really appreciate the love. All right. Comments. You guys making fun of me as to be expected. I want to start taking some calls. Okay. So you know what to do. The link is is pinned at the top of the comments on the YouTube. Click that link and join in. And I'm gonna start taking calls in a bit. All right, guys. So this is your chance now to join the call room. I can hear you. Take on. I haven't put you on the screen yet. I'm just collecting everyone. We're still on. All right, we're gonna start bringing people on now. Um, Mr. Aslam, just chill for a bit. I'm gonna bring Tina on first, and then we'll go to Mr. Aslam. All right. All right, we are back, and we have a couple of callers waiting in the Zoom room. In the Zoom room. All right, let's take let's take our first caller, and let's hope that this all goes to plan. There we go. There we go. There's my sis right there. Sis like Tina with the colored lights. I got you a little purple as well.
So let me give you some ambiance, you know.
Okay, got them
It can
late
change
night
color.
vibes.
What color do you want? It can change color. It can strobe. It can go to music, you know.
Okay, okay. We did content now, yeah?
Let's switch it up a little bit.
Say no more, sis. Say no more. It's a pleasure to have you on as always. All right. first things first. Is it really that hard to find a spouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, wait. No. Let me quantify. It's not hard to find a spouse. It's hard to maintain a healthy relationship. I think that's what it is. It's easy to find someone. Hey girl, it's easy to find someone. Men come and go. I find men, well, men find me in the supermarket. There's men about, yeah.
This is what I
But
keep saying, but it's like I'm lying.
no, but it's harder to maintain a relationship because in the beginning, it's like, okay, it's great. It's the honeymoon phase. Everybody's on putting their best foot forward. Once that honeymoon phase has lapsed, and now you are really getting to know each other, and you're also your tolerance begins to begins to wane a little bit. You're like, but I didn't come to this world to suffer, so you can be going. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's me. But let me just speak for myself, honey.
So are you saying you haven't got much staying power?
I don't, what? I am a quitter. I don't have no problem saying that. If you get on my nerves, be packing your load and be going. Pack the load and be going. I don't have time. There's only one person that I can suffer for, and that's Jesus Christ. If your name is not Yeshua, you can't be going. You can't be going. I don't understand. If you're going to come and add problem to my life upon the problem that we have already, being Black people in this world, do you want me to now add boyfriend, husband problem? And then have no, make it make sense, please. All I want someone to do for me is make it make sense. If they can make it make sense,
do children add problems?
Children, as in like, okay, I was going to say then you add children, which makes it worse. I think sometimes, depending on the spouse, children can actually make it easier. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to, I feel like in some sense, children can make it easier because you have to play nice in front of them, right? You have to get on. You have to play nice.
You reaching right now. Children make it harder. 100% harder, and you don't throw them away is my key point. You don't throw kids away because it got hard. You persevere. Why is it that the men are so disposable?
Because the child came from my womb, the man came from outside. So from the streets you came, from the streets you can go. I can't return my child back to my womb. I don't understand. God gave me this child. So as God gave me the child to be the child's caretaker, to be a steward of this child for him, I have to do my job. I don't have to look after this man. The man doesn't have to look after me. If you like, go to your mom's house where you came from. Go back to your mother's house.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's just, there's a level of skill set that is missing here. And it's not that these people don't exist, but the right attitude, the mentality and skills that takes to make a relationship work, that's what's missing in these streets. I'm trying to learn, bro. You know that to be married to somebody, like, it takes longevity, right? You know that in theory, right? That you need to be able to persevere. You know it in theory, but to do it in practice is tough. And I'm not doubting that. I'm not doubting that at all, because as somebody who is married, I know the temptation to be like, hey, leave me out of this, man. Just let me cut. So I get it. But at the same time, man, come on.
It's hard. Sis. I'm trying. I'm typically, my friends make fun of me. So I'm in a relationship now and it's great, right? It's going well.
Wow.
But I know.
I'm hearing this on Friday Night Vigil.
It's not the first time you're hearing this. Why are you pretending? It's the same one that I was telling you about since.
Oh, that one that you went on a date with.
I mean, let's just say, just in case he's watching. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Say no more, sis.
But yeah, I'm trying to, woosah the moments where I would usually just be like,
that's called growth.
It's growth. No, it's definitely growth. It's like I'm like this, like all the time, like asking God for grace. But another thing which I think has made it a lot more easier is because I'm doing this time, knowing that knowing that, having confirmation from God that this is probably going to be my husband. You know what I mean? So because of that, it
Has
makes
the
it easier.
prophetess come from the mountain? Has the prophetess come down from the mountain?
Can you not see my face
Husband,
shining? Can you not see my face
husband,
shining?
husband. We
Oh,
will
my
be,
husband.
we're chopping
Husband.
jollof rice in 2022. Come on. Give them.
Give
Don't
them.
give me the correct jollof rice.
Come
The
on.
correct one. Party jollof. That's what
I'm walking down the aisle doing Bobrisky. I don't know if you people have to understand it. When I walk down the aisle, I'm gonna be doing this, okay? That's what I'm going to be doing. Nobody should tell me anything.
Yeah, shameless somebody.
Shameless. I have no manners and no behavior. But yeah, so I think what makes it easier, as I was saying, is that I'm like, okay, God. Oh yeah. You know, I think because now I'm like, I have to factor in the God factor. Yeah. I can't just throw him away because God will be looking at me sideways. Because I factor in the God factor, it makes it a little bit more easier. But still, I struggle. I'm not going to lie. I struggle to maintain. I struggle to be steadfast. There's been a couple times that I've been like, all right, go, kick rocks. Go and choose something else. Like, there's been times.
Close your eyes. Let me pray for you real quick. Father God, I just commit this sister into your hands. Lord, I just pray that whatever it is that causes her to throw things away because it gets hard, you help her to persevere. And you help somebody to even persevere with her when she gets hard. May she not be thrown away like trash in the mighty name of Jesus. Because you said that we should do unto others as we would have them do unto us. May she not be thrown away in the same way as she has thrown other people away. We want to hear wedding bells. We want to hear the sound of joy and laughter in this coming year and the year coming and the one after that. I pray that will be her portion in the mighty name of Jesus. Somebody shout amen.
Somebody shout hallelujah. First of all, Allah, you're wrong for that.
Thank you very much.
First of all, you're wrong for that.
What's wrong there? I prayed for you. You said I'm wrong for that.
You're wrong for some of the parts of the prayer.
That prayer was solid. My sister, I appreciate you. I appreciate being on the call. Let's get some of these other callers on, man.
In a bit.
In a bit, sis. Peace. All right. Yo. Okay. Let's line up the next call then. All right. Tanya, I see you in the Zoom room. Just please stay on mute. I'm going to get Mr. Aslam on. Mr. Aslam, please. Hey, Tanya, just chill for a second. I'm going to get Mr. Aslam on first. All right, so we're about to go live in 3, 2, 1. We are live. What's going on, bro? How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I am doing fantastic. It's good to have you on, man. First time call in. How are you feeling tonight? About this topic.
It's an interesting topic because you've said you want obviously personal views.
Yes,
on this
indeed.
as well.
So please talk to me about this. And I know that you're Muslim. Ramadan Mubarak. How are you approaching this topic? Is it really that hard?
I don't think it's that hard when you're realistic about it.
Okay then. Why do you think people struggle with being realistic about it?
Well, partly due to choice, like you said, with the apps. You can spend hours just scrolling. And just infinite choice, and always like, there's someone better. And then on top of that, things like social media, which portray unhealthy things as realistic. And people look at it and go, okay, that's what I want.
Okay.
And
are you married yourself?
That was going to be the drop at the end, but yeah, last week.
Phew. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. So you're 1 week into this marriage thing?
Yep.
Okay, what made you say this is the one? And please give me a real answer, because I know sometimes it's tempting to just say I just knew, or there's no one as special as her, or blah blah blah. Give us a real tangible answer, because I think it's important that men and women hear how some men are making their decisions. So, so please go from there.
There's a slight element of that in there, I'll be honest. But partly was down to, obviously, again, being realistic in my approach. So, the Muslim point of view, we don't do sort of dating before marriage, anything like that. It's pretty much you find someone, you have set boundaries and get to know them. Then the family get involved. Some cultural elements there, and then that's it. You do.
I respect
That plays
it.
a part in it.
I
But it's
respect
completely
it.
different sort of quote unquote Western dating.
Yeah, yeah. And so what you don't have is this extended period of just getting your heart broken, giving up your body, living with different people, and just kind of like trotting around until you basically settle in the final years for somebody, and you bring all your traumas and hurts and pains to them and just try and figure it out with them. I think it's probably better to have these protections in place, man. And I really do think that most cultures that have a strong value on marriage tend to put these kind of controls in place. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's even just there's no one specific culture. It's like just a bit of wisdom, really.
Definitely. One interesting thing is there's a book by Aziz Ansari, the comedian, which he did on modern dating a few years ago. And he did mention how in sort of olden times or sort of 60s and 70s, people would marry people within their local area because you wouldn't really travel that far to meet new people. Whereas now, jump on an app, spend hours searching, and then just like Netflix, you don't know what
Yep.
you want to watch.
Yep. And I think Aziz Ansari doing a book on modern dating is exactly the kind of world we need, because look how quickly he almost lost everything when the
Yeah,
accusations came out about him. Luckily, the internet decided to dig a little deeper and kind of went, yeah, this doesn't seem like much really happened here. It seems more like she's trying to
turn a bad
more,
day into
yeah,
something else.
yeah, trying to make it into something else. But if the internet didn't do that and they just kind of went with her narrative, modern dating could have been the reason that he lost everything.
Yeah.
You know, so I really think this modern dating thing is just overcomplicating what could be very simple, by adding all these different variables, adding so many choices. And, after a while, there's certain burger joints I like. They've got like 4 things on the menu. Give me meat in between breads. Put some cheese
Well,
on
you
it if
want-
you're feeling fancy.
No, I can't rip on it too much because I met my other half through an app. But the other people I spoke to on the app, where you had people like, well, I want my husband to be 6'5", earn X amount of money, X, Y, and Z. Others like, I want him to drive a Range Rover. But no one's being realistic enough or
My
looking at what they're
goodness.
bringing to the table.
Oh my goodness. Let's not even get onto that what you're bringing to the table thing, because
But,
that is
but it's
a
key though.
sore
It's like,
point.
what am I bringing? There's what you want, but then what are you bringing in return?
I
Which people
know.
need to be more realistic about.
I agree with you, bro. But that's, for some reason, that seems to be an offensive concept, especially when you're talking to a lot of women today, to insist or to insinuate in the slightest way that they may be lacking in an area or may not be as valuable as they place themselves can be very insulting. So it's like, how do you have that conversation with somebody who believes they deserve a guy with a Range Rover who's 6'5" and blah blah blah? By telling them to be realistic, you're basically telling them, that you're not good enough, and they're not ready to hear that, and it leads to this perpetual kind of, I don't even know what to call it anymore, because delusion is almost too obvious a word, in my opinion, anyway. But I see why you're saying that. I appreciate
Yeah,
you
but
jumping on, man. Did you have anything else you
no,
wanted to say?
no, it's pretty much that. Just people need to be a bit more realistic about it. But that sounds a bit simplistic, but
Yeah, I
it is
like
what it
that.
is.
I think it's a very good point. People need to be more realistic. Thank you for sticking around for Friday Night Vigil, man. And
Yeah,
hopefully have you on another episode.
peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
All right. We are okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's just go straight into Miss Moore. Tanya Moore. Tanya Moore. Are you ready, sis? All right, let's go live. You are live. All right. T Moore. Woo, what happened to my chair? Golly. Okay, that was
Oh
scary.
shit! Did it break?
It didn't break, but it's like, there's like a rigid version and then there's like a lean back version. It just clicks straight into like the lean back. My
Well,
goodness,
your
that was
chair was
scary.
telling you, bro. Go easy on her.
The chair was telling me I need to call team more fitness. I need to lose weight. I need
The
to
line's
lose weight.
engaged. He's engaged. What- I
Talk to me,
came to
sis.
say,
Yes.
uh,
That we got the same barber.
bro, we're both out here doing it at home. I came to say, first of all, second of all, there's no need to do shade. Third of all, fuck you and your chess club. Okay, so I came to say, is it hard to be in a relationship?
Well, to just find a spouse, find
a spouse. That's the one. To find a spouse. I don't think it's hard to find a spouse. It's hard to find a spouse if you've got lists of what you want your spouse to be. I also think it's twofold, that sometimes women, and it could be men, we, they, us, tend to, like, there could be a guy who comes to me with all the things that I want, but he's 5'7", isn't it?
And you will then discount him for that reason alone.
Like, there's things that happen like that. There's a girl that comes to you, she might have all the things, but she smokes. There's a boy that comes, do you know what I mean? There's always that one little thing that I think people hold on to and just, like, they just get rid of everything else. And then they cry. It's hard to get in a relationship. It's like, it's not, babe. Maybe you just need to just not be so quick to throw things away when one thing's wrong, if you've got 10 things that are great.
That's what I'm trying to say to you. That's what I'm trying to say to you. That I don't know if you were here on the call when I said it, but I asked this question earlier on today to a sister who isn't married, but she's seeing somebody. And she said she's got a guy who is good looking, who makes very good money, who is very disciplined, and he's not pressuring her for sex because she's trying not to have sex before marriage. And a couple of other things going for him. But her issue was that she basically doesn't get to see him, like, because he's always working. He's very focused.
Right.
And I was like, please do not fumble this bag. If you want to be with a guy who is achieving, focused, successful, grinding, you may not get the time for the hanging out and the chit chats and so on, and you're not going to get anywhere by moaning and whinging at him that he needs to spend more time with you. You're probably better off by being the peace in his life and by providing value in a way that he can't get from his computer desk or from his work that he's doing.
Which sounds good, bro. But let me hit you with something real quick. Sounds good. But she can't be the peace in someone's life who's too busy for her to even be there in the first place. And also, if you're building something with somebody, you need to have the conversation, or at least live a little bit of life so you can learn them. Because there's going to be moments where you will have hiccups because you're learning, you're finding your balance. Balance cannot be found if I'm not even in your...
The thing is, so far as you guys are seeing each other, you guys are in here. It's whether you're physically seeing each other and how often and the phone calls and all those kind of things. So I'm saying to her that those things will come, but you don't get that from a man who is high achieving. You don't get that by telling him, oh, but you said, I want to get more time. I need this. I need that. That's not how you do it. You go, do you know what? I understand you're on a purpose and you are disciplined. That's one of the things I like about you. And that's why I even want to learn this from you. How can I help you or support you in these goals? And he goes, oh, I need this, some small thing, whatever it is. You go, do you know what? Let me handle that for you. As you are in the process of working with this person, and I'm not saying it literally has to be his work, but it might be a case of like, maybe, you know, you help him get a meal, or you help him organize something that he's been meaning to do. And in the process of doing that, you can actually start to get that quality time and that conversation that you're looking for. Now, what you find is that person will then open up to you, because men are often looking at things as a cost-benefit situation. If it's literally just to be lollygagging on the phone, you're probably not ranking that high. But if you are somebody who is indispensable to his life, he's going to make the time to make you happy because he knows how much he needs you. And I think a lot of sisters just kind of feel like, I've showed up, like that should be everything. That's not the case. If you're meeting a guy who's on his purpose, you cannot be a hindrance to that purpose. You have to be the wind beneath his wings. You have to come alongside that. If you ever want to be with a guy who's like a flipping footballer, you can't be calling him up when he's training and saying, "Oh, but why don't you come back and watch Netflix with me?" That guy's training
I know,
to
but
go make
here's
the
the thing,
millions.
because okay, so in the scenario that you're talking about, I can't go too much into. I don't know anything about it, so I don't know what her position is. Let me give you my position. Talking to a guy, great conversation, went to dinner a couple times. He wants to progress the relationship.
Okay.
I don't mind seeing what's going on, but he's very busy, right? So Ola, you know me. If he's very busy, mate, that makes you even more sexier because so the fuck am I. And I don't want you telling me, when are you, where are you? So when he was like, I'm very busy, I was like, oh my God, marry me, right? So we're talking. Then it gets to a point, yeah, when we've gone like 2-3 days, no conversation. Fine. So we get to day 4. I messaged him. I'm like, hey, what's going on? You all right? Didn't hear nothing. The next day I get, oh, sorry, yeah. I've just been so busy. Not to respond to hello for a WhatsApp. Hola.
Oh my
Hola. Hola. I was like, okay, like, I think this is funny because I'm a busy person and I make time to respond to who I want to make time to respond to. As you said, a man will make time to do certain things for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't expect you to do anything grand. I don't even have to see you, my G. I have Zoom on 4 different devices. Here's what I'm saying to you, yeah? You can't
Man
tell
said,
me
give
you're
me
too
one
busy for
phone,
a WhatsApp.
give me 2 phones. I get you on the laptop right here. We can do multiple angles. Hey, how you doing?
Babes,
It's been a while.
babes, you can see all angles of me when you're ready. I'm saying a message though, Ola.
Yeah.
Is that extreme? Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, clearly something's wrong here. I didn't progress anything. You've come to me. You want to progress it with me, but you don't have time to even say, hey, what's going on? How do I get to know you, bro? So now I'm the bitch because I'm like, well, because I'm busy.
Okay. So, what do you think he was doing in that time that he was too
So I
busy?
know he's working. I'm not thinking anything like, you see, man, I don't think anything like that. He's a very clear-cut guy, very straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's working.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been around you. You're not that busy that you can't respond to a message. I've been to your house. I've been around you. I'm watching you now. You're not that busy that you can't respond to a text. I see your phone going off. My guy's doing this. Oh, yeah. So you see it? You just choose to message me 48 hours later in the bit that you're busy. I said, yo.
But you know what? Yeah, let me be honest with you. Yeah, my guy probably saw your message and he was like, I don't want to deal with this right now.
But deal with what? I'm not even a deal yet.
He just might not want to get into conversation. Like if you start
but then
the
Ola,
chatting and then
no,
it's like,
I'm not gonna let you do that, Ola, because something as simple as, babe, you know what? Let me hit you up tomorrow.
to be
Cool.
fair, yeah. To be fair, yeah. Really and truly, that's what it should be. No, to be fair, really and truly, that's what it should be. But I also know that sometimes guys be like, oh my goodness, like if I tell her this, she's gonna be disappointed, blah blah blah, and then they just kind of avoid it, head in the sand kind of approach. That's what I think sometimes happens. I don't know if it's in this particular situation that's what he did, but I do think that sometimes it's not malicious, but it's like. You know,
And can I confirm? And before you even finish that, I want to confirm. I don't think it's malicious. I just think that some people think they're ahead of where they actually are. You might really want to be in a relationship, my G. You're not ready yet. You can't even respond to a Ross Clark WhatsApp. Bruh, go and do what you're doing. And when you're ready, go and find your queen. Stop fucking with people's times. It's a good thing I know I've got boundaries and time management. I say, yo, come out. You're a fool.
Do you know what? Yeah, you don't disappoint, Tanya. You don't disappoint. Tony came out and was like, all right.
No, because it's hard because you always speak, intelligently, but from a male's perspective,
100%,
right?
yeah.
And sometimes a narcissistic male's perspective. But we love you anyway. However, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But sometimes there needs to be a voice on the other side of the fence that also looks at the other side of the fence. I feel like I did that.
You don't think we've had enough representation of women's gripes with men and how men are not consistent and men are cheaters and men do this and men do that? You don't think we get enough of that? You think that the internet
Again,
really
can I
needs
just confirm the end of my sentence where I said somebody who also looks at the other side of the fence? Like I feel like I gave him enough space. I was very mindful. You're busy. You've got 9 to 5 plus 2 of your own businesses. You've got left, right, and center to handle. Wonderful. But Ola, as we've already established, a message to even say, babe, I'm just in the middle, or something. Let me hit you tomorrow. So you're blue ticking it and then calling me tomorrow. Ola, now please let me know. Can you see dickhead? Just let me know. Because if you can, I need to wash it. Anyway.
Do you know what? Yeah. Do you know what? And I think this is where communication comes in useful. I think that's not an unreasonable thing to communicate, to say, look, I understand you're busy. Just you know what? Like when I hit you up like this, I'm not gonna be upset. Just let me know that it's not until tomorrow. Like just to have that space to be able to say, look, I don't mind if you don't have the time when I want it, but as long as we can make some time at some point, I'm good. And I think that these are small obstacles. That's what I genuinely think, right? I think that I really feel like
these. I don't know if I'd go with the word obstacles.
What's that?
I don't know if I'd go with the word obstacles.
Why? What would you go with then?
I don't know. I think these are. I think when someone lacks basic communication, I just think you're just not there yet. You might think it, but you're not. You don't think that's basic communication? That's basic.
Do you know what? Yeah, I think a lot of things are basic, but if we start going into that, everybody feel dead because I think y'all want narcissistic Ola to come back out again.
Yes. Give me two narcissistic points. You think what?
I think some of you women need to learn basic communication. It's not just talking. Some of it is listening. And the listening skills are underdeveloped. The talking skills are overdeveloped. I think there's
I can't listen to you if you don't fucking call me and talk to me, my G. I can't listen to you if you don't respond.
I'm telling you, I don't know your situation, but I also know that there are many situations in which, like, afterwards, a woman will be like, yeah, actually, he did say that. Like it'll be something like,
I'll take it.
It'll be like, yeah, maybe don't call him at this time. He'd be like, yeah, he did say that one time, actually, that he doesn't like me really calling him at 10 p.m. or whatever it is. And you just would have completely disregarded it. But anyway, I got to be the narcissist to say that. Fair enough.
No, I'll take it. No, I'll take that. I agree with that. I don't think it's a narcissistic statement. There are times when people don't listen on both sides of the fence. I'll take that. I don't think that's narcissistic.
But that's basic communication. So are you discounted if you don't listen?
I don't think you should be discounted. No,
of course not. So that's what I'm saying. That, like, these are small obstacles. You can basically make the point that, like, I don't think you listen to me enough, or I don't think that you clearly communicate, blah blah blah, rather than to diagnose.
Let me give you something that's so beautiful in this phone call. Yeah. You're talking about women that don't listen, but you just didn't listen to me. I just told you my situation, like legit, that's what's happened. And this is not a me issue. This is literally, he doesn't know how to communicate. He didn't listen. Because my biggest thing was when he asked me when we met was communication. I'm very easygoing. If you say, babe, on Monday, I have to call you on Friday, you won't hear from me and I'll wait for you to call me. I'm telling you, I'm very easy when it comes to this kind of stuff. Because when I need to go, I need to go. And I don't want to hear from you until I come back. Yeah? So I'm very respectful.
I heard you when you said these things. Where we disagree is I said that these are small obstacles. You said that it's not a small obstacle, that this means you are not ready. And I'm saying, look, we all make poor communication decisions. That doesn't mean we are discounted. It means that these are areas we can work on. They are small obstacles that can be overcome. That's the only point I'm making here. That it's not fair to discount him and say he's not ready because he is not making the basic call. If there are times where simple listening,
I think that's a reduction. I think, yeah, I think.
Do you think that maybe you might be overinflating the importance of responding in the moment?
I think if we're in a stage where we're supposed to be getting to know each other, then I should be getting to know you. I can't do that if I don't hear from you.
Okay, it's not that you didn't hear from him. You heard from him the next day.
No. I heard from him the next day to apologize for why he didn't message me the day before. Okay. And that was the end of the conversation. So now all of our conversations after that are just you apologizing for not messaging me. We're not now having a conversation as a result of the communication is just legit. Ah, shit, I was really busy yesterday. Okay. So was I.
Brother, wherever you are, I tried, man. You on your own, bro. You on your own, bro. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm going.
Nah, I don't know what you're doing, brother. You're on your own on that one, man. I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt, my bro. But
no.
If you can't even just holler and say, this is what's up. Yeesh. Golly.
Anyway,
indeed. Anyway.
Go and read these comments.
All right, sis. God bless you, man.
Bitches soon.
Peace.
Bye, babe.
Bye. Yo, we're back. Look, yeah. I be taking hella flack for no reason. For no reason other than I speak the truth in these streets. And you know what? If that's the cross I must bear, you might as well give it to somebody with some broad shoulders. Let's get into some of these comments real quick before we wrap this up. Do you know what? Yeah, Tina said, if you're 5'7", go to the playground with your mates. And that's the reason why she's going to have to explain that comment on Judgment Day. Jill's going to pull that comment up on the big screen and be like, can you explain this, please? Because that's rude. That's rude. What if the one thing is like massive, like he has everything, but it's not saved, but he's not saved? What then? Do you know what? Yeah, I think it's perfectly reasonable for people to have non-negotiables. The problem is the non-negotiable list is just overinflated. The non-negotiable list should be about things like values, right? Like he needs to believe in not doing crime, right? I don't want to marry a guy who's doing fraud or selling drugs. That's completely fine. If your values are he needs to be saved, he needs to actually want to be married. These are all very reasonable things. The problem is people start putting things like height on there. People start putting things like salary on there. I'm saying that, like, okay, if your non-negotiable is he needs to have a job, fine. If you're saying he needs to earn this amount, you are making a decision in the now that could change tomorrow. So I'm saying you might not want to put that on your non-negotiable list. You might want to move that over to your preference list, where things can drop on and off. But you got to keep a set of non-negotiables and stick to those as your baseline. Right? And that will include many people. The gate will be wide. You'll have many people who pass this very basic line. Then you can now start working through your preferences. But then you understand that at least these preferences are just that, preferences. They're not non-negotiables. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you have to take everybody that comes to you. No, still be selective. But don't be over-selective because you're scared or because you have an overinflated sense of self. All right. Mr. Aslam says you find time for those who matter regardless of how busy you are. I get that. Kind of. you will be able to make time for them. Make enough time for them, that it stands to, depends on who you're with and so on. But it is tough, especially if you're a man who's on a particularly like driven path and you're doing pretty well for yourself. It's gonna be hard. That's the honest truth about it. So no, you can climb into the bin. Oh man, okay. Chidi said, I feel attacked because my response times can be described as atrocious. It's an energy thing. If I don't have the energy, I wait until I can and then respond. This is what I was trying to get at, where sometimes you're just like, I can't deal with this right now. And I get that. I do think that we should all be able to muster the energy to be like, let me hit you tomorrow. And that should be okay. Like, there's no penalty to pay for saying this. But anyway, Chidi Mama, you said it yourself, so it's not specifically flaky guys. Saying that, I do respond to the people that whilst they're still typing. All right, let's get into more of these comments. Even if it's malicious, it's very immature. I prefer if someone told me they're busy / don't want to talk than give me the silent treatment. I agree with you on that one. I think I think the bare minimum for good practice is just to say, look, I can't talk right now, but I'm gonna holler you later. I think that's fair. I think we should, I'm not saying that it's completely absolved. I'm just saying that these are things that require understanding and working on, not discounting. But anyway. Tina said, if I say your Ola will shout. Do you know what, yeah? Tina, relax. Chill. Michael, they be calling me a narcissist, everybody can diagnose narcissism as well now. Everybody can just diagnose it. Absolute rubbish. Just defaming my good character. All right. Tanya sent me his number, let me cuss him. This girl's insights. You two, you're also one of these long responders. You people. She's speaking the truth though. If you had no time to get to know someone, where do you expect to have the time for a relationship? Do you know what? This is fair. But it's like, for a lot of men, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Right? Like, in the sense that men are known to be kind of a bit locked on, laser focused when they're doing something. And that doesn't mean that they can't make time to send a quick message. They definitely can. But there also needs to be an understanding that, look, if you want a guy who's doing something for himself, it's going to have, there's some pros, there's some cons. And you can't have a guy who has all the time and energy. I'm not saying this is what you're saying, Tanya, or what you're saying, this girl's insights. But you do have to realize there's some give and take. And this is where, the bit about being realistic comes in. The guy is a flipping, president of the United States. He hasn't always got time to be skipping around in the sunset with you. This guy's focused. All right. All right. A message takes a few seconds, common decency to reply to someone. True. But at the same time, people's phones be blowing up, man. People's phones be blowing up. I understand that everybody has the same message traffic, And this is why, like, there definitely came a time I had to mute a whole bunch of groups. I had to cut off all of my email notifications and so on, because I was literally getting so many, and all of them come in like they're all high priority. You feel like you have to respond to everything, and the truth is you really don't. Like, life is gonna be okay. So if this guy has a 9-to-5 and 2 businesses as well, I expect he's got a barrage of messages coming into him constantly, and maybe he hasn't got a decent system for filtering through. That's my guess, but I keep trying to give the benefit of the doubt. He might also just be inconsiderate. All right. I have no common decency. But the dude didn't even say, let me hit you tomorrow. He just straight up left on red. True. Far too many can diagnose narcissism in others, never in themselves. Wow. That's Go Michael right there. Go Michael. Go Michael. That line hit hard, bro. Everyone can see narcissism in everybody else, never in themselves. Interesting. So many groups, airplane mode. I feel you, Chidi. I feel you. Sometimes you really just need to put it on airplane mode, man. Guys, this has been dope as always. Here's where we're at, though. I think we can all say that it doesn't need to be as complicated as it is. But somehow I think we enjoy the complication. Do you know why? Because the complication is a very good cover for the fact that I think a lot of us are scared of this. We're scared to take the leap. We're scared to make that jump. And so if we can basically project all of our fears onto everybody we meet, and we can make it about them not being perfect enough or them not doing the right things. Whereas the real work is about courage, it's about overcoming, it's about perseverance, it's about duty, it's about commitment. And these are all way longer lasting concepts than romantic notions of love and vibes that a lot of people base these decisions on. As Tina just said, small wahala is fun. That's how you spot a toxic individual. So, guys, I appreciate you sticking with me. We're rounding in on 1 p.m. I think at this point, we have had good discussion. We've had a good few calls. I think it's about time we wrap this up. If you enjoyed this today, please make sure that you spread the word. You share this with people. Make sure that next week you are back. Make sure that you have clicked like on this video. I can see that some of you are watching and you haven't clicked like. Make sure you click that like button right now. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to do it. I need this engagement. Thanks, guys. And also, while you're there, hit that subscribe button as well. You can turn on notifications as well so that at least you know when I'm about to go live and stuff. So make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on notifications, make sure you hit the Patreon, make sure you subscribe to the Boys Quarter podcast, make sure you're following me on Instagram. There's so much you can do to get this content and to stay in the congregation. Okay, guys, I appreciate you all. I'm about to have a good night. I don't have all of my sign outs and cool things I say yet. I'm still figuring this show out. One day I come up with something cool to say when I'm heading out. But for now, it's as always. We stay blessed. Oh, wow. Let me just quickly collect this compliment. These graphics are like I hail. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Chidi, God bless you too as well. Everybody quickly say good night to each other. I know that you people are loving up on each other. Say good night to each other in the comments real quick. I'm going to give you some time to do that before I end the live. Well, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play some Aina more Layback in this time. You guys can say your good nights to each other and then we'll do this again next week.
Nah, really, sweetie. only speak truth. They call me Miss more time cause it's true. I miss the old days, I miss the old me. I miss not missing anything, that's the key. Let it all flow, let it all fly. Don't follow fashion, follow your passions inside. Sing it, girl, yeah.
Sometimes I feel lost in this mission called life. Yeah. And I know sometimes I ain't living right, but it's alright. It's alright. Sometimes I've gotta lay back. Sometimes I've gotta lay back. Sometimes I've gotta lay.
Some days I gotta lay back, kick back and sit back with my hair all back. And I don't care if it's nappy plaits. I'm a nappy queen, damn bad, real bad. Nubian queen, this Nubian sings. La 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 la, all day with my king. But we still find time to hunt in the forest. Clothed in nothing but at least dishonest. Who can say that? They vow to be true, this is real. Being real's what we do, I do this, even when it's ugly. And yeah, sometimes it's ugly, sometimes I'm weird. Sometimes I wanna shut it out and not care. And sometimes I wanna disappear. And sometimes I wish I could appear on a cloud. And sometimes I wish I weren't around. And yo, sometimes
I feel lost in this mission called life. Yeah. And I know sometimes I ain't living right, but it's alright. It's alright. Sometimes
Oh, by the way, Tanya Moore, the girl who I was talking about.
Sometimes I've gotta lay back.
The sister I was talking about in the situation with the guy, she said she loves you and she wishes she was your friend. God bless you guys all, man. Stay blessed.